Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tailgate Talks. We're your hosts, David and Nick. Nick, say hi to the people.
Howdy.
We just finished up week 12 of the college football season. We've got a clearing up picture of the college football playoff going on. Clemson just coming off a big win against Miami. Really showed some dominance, especially on the defensive front. Ended up winning 40-10. So Nick, what do you think? How'd the Tigers look this weekend?
The defense, I just want to shout out the defense. They looked incredible throughout the duration of this game. Miami had, I think it was either 8 or 9 total yards at halftime. Um, it really, and they finished with 98 total yards, so it really could have been much. The score was closer than it seemed, honestly, which is crazy because the Clemson won by 30, but it was complete domination on the defensive side of the ball. The offense tried their best to keep Miami in the game. 3 straight turnover drives, but first half they looked electric. Started to kind of get that feeling back towards the end of the game. So I think all Clemson needs to do is just play complete games, and they should be good. So that's going to be the interesting thing is if they can piece it together like they did earlier in the year and just dominate, which it's going to be a little more difficult now if South Carolina plays the way they did yesterday. North Carolina, even though they lost to Georgia Tech, they're a good team, and then whatever team in the bowl game is going to be good. So it's just going to be up to the Tigers to see if they can finally pull a complete game together and dominate.
Mhm. I mean, I think if you look at the college landscape in general, this past weekend it was chaotic. Even though a lot of the dust settled and there wasn't, I mean, there were only two of the top 10 teams in the committee's rankings lost. Um, it was still a lot closer throughout the weekend than I think a lot of people would would immediately call out. I mean, you've got Georgia winning 16-6 against Kentucky. That was a 22-point spread. Ohio State was in a one possession game before they got a turnover that they took for a touchdown right at the goal line with Maryland. I mean, Maryland was going back and forth with them. Michigan relying on a as time expired field goal to win that game at home against Illinois. And then TCU, same kind of deal, going on the road to Baylor and having to kick a field goal as time expires as well to win that game by one. And then, like Nick said, Tennessee laying a big old goose egg type performance. Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed type thing against South Carolina. Um, Even LSU was messing around with UAB for the first half mostly. I
which
mean, I
is
think
which was
by the end of the first half they were up what 28-10. So
something like that, I think.
I think so. And then you got, even Alabama first half, granted they didn't give up 0 points. They only won by 34 against Austin P, who I'm pretty sure that the spread was bigger than that. Not quite sure though, so I could be wrong. But still, it just felt like overall all the teams in the top 10 were just kind of messing around with their dinner kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tennessee got burned on it. Utah lost to Oregon, so Oregon able to avenge their loss last week. So it's just, it's college football. I mean, just when you think you understand what's going on, things go haywire. But I agree, Nick. I think Clemson did a good job in the first half of, being creative with their play calls. Just like I called on Friday, run the damn ball, give it to DJ, give it to Shipley, give it to Maffa. Kobe Pace was back. He scored a touchdown at the end of the game.
It was
Um,
it was wonderful to see Kobe Pace back. Missed him a lot.
yeah, that guy. Throughout the entire game, I was just calling for like by the goal line, give Kobe the ball. I want him to get a touchdown. He deserves it. Fighting back after a nasty ankle sprain. Like, give this guy the rock and get him involved in the offense. Because when you've got three running backs like that, why even bother passing?
Yeah. But shout out Luke Price, first career touchdown in his 6th year. Always happy to see it. And on senior day, always happy to see the people that put in the work, especially for that long, be rewarded in a way where they get to celebrate in front of the home crowd. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah. It was, I mean, overall, I think it was a solid performance from Clemson. They had a quarter and two drives in the second half that the offense looked disinterested, is kind of how
Yeah.
I would put it. Where, I think we just got a little too conservative with the play calling, try to manage the game instead of attacking. I think what we've seen with Clemson the last couple of weeks, even if you throw in the Notre Dame game, is that when Clemson goes on the attack and they put stress on the defenses, they use the middle of the field, they run DJ, you know, they make the defense have to make a decision on who to guard. That's when Clemson is in a good position and where they're able to move the ball. They got to cut out the turnovers. So this is I think what, three straight games that they've had three turnovers. I mean,
Something
that's
like that.
ridiculous. You got to hold
It's
on
too
to the
much.
ball. Guys have to be carrying balls between classes this week and to preach ball security. I mean, it's just something that you cannot do is give up the ball, especially against this week South Carolina, who's going to be an opportunistic defense, wanting to give Spencer Rattler as many chances as they can. They're coming off a huge high. So if you give those guys any kind of momentum, they're going to try and run with it.
They really went from wanting to fire their offensive coordinator to putting up 63 points. And granted, Tennessee's defense has always been their weakest point, but they played well. I can't sit here and say they didn't. They deserve that win. It'll be interesting to see what South Carolina team shows up. I believe they're 1-5 in day games, and they're 6-0 in night games. So it's a tale of two teams. So we'll see who we get. Um, I just I'm happy because I'm already starting to get some chirps from some South Carolina fans I know. Starting to see it on the Twitter. They're getting a little excited for this one. And
Well, I think
I
every year's their year. It's
last set.
it is fun to see that, regardless of the records, you've got two fan bases that absolutely going into the game think that they have all the cards, they figured it out, and they're going to be the ones to dominate the game. For Clemson, it's been nice. Last 7 years have been going their way, but
Technically 8.
not too long ago that was how South Carolina felt for, I think, five years. So, it comes in spurts. I think as a Clemson fan, you just hope that our spurt lasts a little bit longer, but you can't take this game for granted at all because both teams want it more than anything. It's a throw the records out kind of week, and just go put your big boy pants on. And as I think the South Carolina play, you got to drop your nuts, nut up and shut up kind of thing.
Oh man, it's officially hate week. Spurs down.
Did they ever put Spurs on that statue? I think they forgot it, right? Still.
They forgot to do that. They also forgot to put the right color up for all the flags around their stadium. They oh, what else is funny? Their president called themselves the University of California. Um, then got fired for plagiarism. So it's funny. Uh,
Only South Carolina.
only South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, so let's dive in a little bit real quick on the just the overall landscape of college football now with the latest results. I mean, I think we can start looking at um, Tennessee just played themselves out of the playoff. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point,
Yeah,
no conference championship chance, two losses, one of them being to an unranked team that's got four losses, I think, right? So yeah, four losses. Um, So just not a good loss there, even worse than Clemson's loss to Notre Dame kind of thing. Um, so I think their playoff hopes, especially with Hendon Hooker now being hurt, torn ACL out for the season, I think the rest of the season. So
Yeah.
Tennessee's promising season is done. Um, Good luck to you guys in whatever bowl game you end up in, but you can go back to being irrelevant until next year.
Also, a little obscure, but with UCF losing to Navy, Tulane has retaken the lead for the top group of 5 team.
Go Green Wave.
So go Green Wave. I mean, I thought once UCF kind of took care of them, I thought that it was going to be kind of it for them, but excuse me. That was a shocker that UCF lost to Navy. I did not see that coming. It's not like it was anything like they got shut out, or not shut out, but they got shut down. Like Navy played good on defense, and that's a tough UCF team to kind of slow down. This is a team that scored 70 on Temple. Like they can put up points. So the fact that Navy was able to hold them to 14, that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Other results from this week. So like we said, Georgia, they keeping their business going. They're 11-0 after beating Kentucky. They've got Georgia Tech this week, who just came off beating UNC. So theoretically should be a dub for Georgia Tech for Georgia. I think, unless they have something absolutely catastrophic between the next 2 weeks, I think they'd really have to lose to Georgia Tech and lose the SEC championship by a lot in order to miss the playoff right now. So you
And
can almost, at this point, Georgia's playing for seeding, I think. Ohio State and Michigan are going to meet this week. Um, big game for the Big Ten. I think if the game's close, there could be definitely some discussion on whether you keep both teams in the top four. Um, I think that Ohio State's just got too much firepower, especially with Michigan's leading rusher, uh, Corum, injuring his knee against Illinois. Not
I
really
think
sure how effective he's gonna be if he can go against Ohio State, but he's their main offense right there. So I think if Ohio State, starts taking Michigan out to the woodshed, I think that pretty much puts an end to a two Big Ten team playoff.
yeah. I think that there was, because I saw he got injured. I think he said himself that he was going to play, but I mean that's just him saying it. So I'm not sure what his status is. But you're right. If he's not able to go, that's a big loss to Michigan. So
I think he's
it'll be
absolutely going to give
interesting.
it a go.
Oh, 100
You're
percent.
absolutely. I mean, this is the biggest game of the season for Michigan.
Yeah,
You got to give it your best effort to get out there if you're any chance of playing.
of getting
So.
in. Yeah,
So those are the top three teams so far. TCU eking out that win against Baylor. They've got Iowa State this week, and then I'm not sure if Kansas State clinched yet or not,
I think
but
if it's not Kansas, I think it almost but certainly is Kansas State, but I am not entirely sure.
yeah. So Kansas State, if we yeah, Kansas State is most likely going to be their matchup. So again, I think if it's win and you're in type deal for TCU. You lose either of those two games coming up, and you're likely on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
I have a feeling we're going to see USC probably at 5 or 6. Depends on how the committee looks at those two wins. I know the AP poll came out and put USC ahead of LSU. They're also in a
I
good
think
position. I think they win, they're in. If they win
I
out
think
their games.
with USC beating UCLA and LSU, they didn't look the best against Arkansas last week, and then this week they played UAB. I wouldn't be surprised, especially also USC only has the one loss. I wouldn't be surprised if like you said, USC kind of jumps up to 5 and LSU stays at 6.
The other
Um,
thing I think that helps USC is, they play Notre Dame this week. That's another ranked win, if they can pull that out. And then you're
yeah,
looking at Oregon. After that, another ranked win there. So they're going to finish the season. If they can win out with 3 straight ranked wins, I don't think you can kick them
right.
out if they do that.
No, 100% not. So, coming from the Clemson's perspective, if the committee follows what the AP poll did today and jumps Clemson over Bama, that makes the road a little more clear. You need Georgia to beat LSU effective. I mean, they should already be knocked out with 2 losses, but they're not because they beat Alabama. So Georgia beating LSU would effectively knock LSU out. You probably want TCU to lose to either Iowa State or if it is Kansas State in the Big 12 championship. You want them to lose a game. You want um USC to lose, preferably to Notre Dame, because then that makes the loss to Notre Dame look a little better. But if it's to Oregon in the Pac, so as long as they lose again, that's all you can ask for. And then, I mean, at that point, they're probably looking at the 4. So, but you probably are with Michigan and Ohio State playing, you're probably going to slide into that 3 spot because it would be Georgia, winner of the game, and then Clemson. So really, you just need LSU to lose, USC to lose, and TCU to lose. So all those fans saying doomsday, relax, still in play. And you could think that they might not be able to win a game in the playoff. That's fine. Each team this year, and it's been nice, a little refresher. Each team's looked mortal at some point. Any team can get beat. So
Oh
just
yeah.
get to the
I think
dance.
I
Anything
think that
can happen.
this is showing more and more that, college football is a game of matchups. Can you match up favorably with any of these
Yeah.
teams? And then it's, you got to remember these are 18 to 20-year olds, um, still figuring life out and everything. Um, so they're week to week, the teams are never the same. So what Dabo's done at Clemson, the model of consistency that
It's
this team has
remarkable.
been. I mean, you're looking at it's what 12 straight 10-win seasons now.
Hmm.
It's insane how consistent that is. So the only other team as consistent as that has been Alabama. So
And I
you
think
know, go ahead.
I think I saw a graphic yesterday in the stadium. It was saying like there have been, if with a win today, it would be Clemson's 19th total 10-win season, and then Dabo has 12 of them. It's just a testament to how good of a coach he is. So
Hmm.
thank you, Dabo. Happy birthday.
Good birthday, Daba. Yep, Dave, we recorded this. I think it's his birthday today, right?
Yeah,
We're
it's
recording
Sunday.
on Sunday night. He turned, I think, what, 53?
Hmm?
So starting to get up there with the more experienced coaches. Um, just hope that he sticks around at Clemson if you're a Clemson fan for as many years as you can. So
Yeah.
it's just, but like we're saying, it's just been a testament to how this team has been coached. Um, and a lot of people were saying that last year was Dabo's best year of coaching with what they lost and how they rebounded after that tough start to the season. This year, I think it's more of the same, especially now that you've had to replace 2 coordinators. All the controversy that the media and everyone outside of that program has drummed up about the quarterback. Dabo's been steadfast with, this is his team. These are his guys, and he's pushing to get the best out of them, challenging them. I mean, he even had. Some people look at it as a negative. I'm looking at that as a huge, huge positive. That for 5 minutes on the sideline yesterday during that third quarter, Dabo had the whole offense around him, and he was just laying into them, getting them motivated. Showing them like we can. This is important right now. You may be up by 3 scores, but you got to go out there and continue to execute at a high level if you want to keep the goals ahead of you um, coming closer to you. If you want to keep, reaching for those those end of season goals and all the other accolades that you want at the end of the season. You know, the work starts now, and
Yeah.
it's been going on, and you can't ever let up. I mean, that's I think what we've been definitely saying is the thing that's most been missing of this team was that kind of eye of the tiger, step on their throat, and finish the game kind of thing, you know. So we'll see if that shows up with the heightened uh emotion of it being a rivalry game. You know, we'll see if Clemson come out and put together finally a 4 quarters of complete, mistake-free, highly executed football.
I want it to be so bad. I want this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. I always say that for me, I'm perfectly happy. I'd love for South Carolina to lose every game. If that doesn't happen, then the next best thing is for them to come in 5 wins, needing to beat Clemson in order to be bowl eligible, and Clemson able to prevent them from doing that. Unfortunately, South Carolina's already bowl eligible, so your next best thing is, they're coming off of a huge win, thinking that they're the cream of the crop. Um, After beating Tennessee, uh, and then you go out and you spank them is the goal.
Mhm. That'd be so much fun.
I mean, it's something too that all these other teams are always saying we want Bama, and then this week, towards the end of the game, South Carolina starts chanting that they want Clemson. So that's another testament to what the Clemson program has become. That now you've got a team. Usually that's made in just saying, that kind of chants made in just saying, oh, we're hot stuff now. We want the best team, and that's how South Carolina's looking at Clemson now. Is that they see Clemson as the goal. And it's nothing like putting your rival to make you the goal.
And you know what? You want Clemson? You're gonna get them. All I'm gonna say, you're gonna get them.
Mhm. It's gonna be an orange britches night. It's gonna be electric. Right after Thanksgiving, we're gonna have turkey on Thursday and hopefully some fried chicken on Saturday.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
Pop the damn ball, right?
Yep.
Well, I think that's all we've got for tonight or today, whenever you guys watch this. Thank you for tuning in. As always, go Tigers.
Go Tigers, Spurs down.